Hello friends, today we try to study some basic concepts of chemistry. It is the part of standard 11th Maharashtra State Board chapter number 1. तर या चॅप्टरमध्ये आपण काय शिकणार आहे सर काही बेसिक कन्सेप्ट शिकणार आहेत. दॅट इज म्हणजेच केमिस्ट्री काय आहे, केमिस्ट्रीचे ब्रांचेस काय आहे, मॅटर काय असतं, मॅटरची टाईप काय आहे, क्लासिफिकेशन काय आहे, वेगवेगळ्या प्रॉपर्टीज एलिमेंट्सच्या काय आहेत, कंपाउंड्स, मेटल्स, मेटलाइट्स यांची प्रॉपर्टीज काय आहे, दॅट वी ट्राय टू स्टडी. ऑल्सो इफ यू कन्सिडर मिक्सचर, तर मिक्सचर काय असतं, different properties of mixture that we try to study, different types of mixture that also we try to study. I will try to explain in 3 languages, most possibly English, Marathi as well as in Hindi, so that the student could understand the concept. Okay, most probably I will use English. So today the first part that we try to study. So what is chemistry that we try to see, or how we can define chemistry. So chemistry, it is defined as, it is the branch of science which deals with the study of matter. So what is chemistry? It is nothing but the branch of science which deals with the study of matter, its physical and chemical properties and physical and chemical changes it undergoes under different conditions. So what is basically studied in chemistry? It is nothing but the study of matter. What is matter? Matter is nothing but substance. Any substance, कोणताही substance घ्या. In chemistry we try to study the different properties, physical properties, chemical properties, their analysis under different operating conditions. If we change the conditions such as temperature change, pressure change, concentration change, composition change, so what will be the changes occur in that matter or substance that is mainly studied? That branch we call it as chemistry. Okay, I hope it is clear. Now the chemistry it is used or applied everywhere in nature. If you consider every part, there exists chemistry. निसर्गातली कोणतीही गोष्ट घेतली तरी त्याच्यामध्ये तुम्हाला केमिस्ट्री दिसेल. If you consider our food, it also contain chemicals, it also contain chemical constituents. So what are vitamins? That are also nothing but chemicals or chemical constituents we will consider. If you consider metals, that are made up of chemistry part. If you consider clay, that is also one of the non-metallic parts. So everywhere there is chemistry. If you consider wood, it is part of chemistry. If you consider food, it is part of chemistry. If you consider cloth, it is part of chemistry. If you consider plastic, it is also part of chemistry. So chemistry is used everywhere. If you consider drugs, that also contain chemistry. Okay, so chemistry is the basic science. Now we try to see the nature of chemistry. Okay, what are the different branches of chemistry, or how the chemistry is divided into different branches, that we try to study. Okay, so chemistry, it is basically divided into 4 branches, or we can say it is divided into 5 branches. So what are the 4 basic branches? That is organic chemistry, inorganic chemistry, physical chemistry, and analytical chemistry. So these are 4 basic branches of chemistry. If you want to do post-graduation also, the chemistry post-graduation will be available in these 4 branches. No doubt, in addition to this, there is also a branch of chemistry that we call it as biochemistry. Okay, so collectively these are 5 branches of chemistry. We try to study these branches in detail. So what is the definition of these branches that we try to study? Okay, so first it is organic chemistry. Now what is organic chemistry? Organic chemistry is nothing but the branch of science or branch of chemistry which deals with carbon and carbon compound. Okay, the organic chemistry mainly deals with carbon compounds. So that is why it is also called as the carbon chemistry. So wherever there is carbon exists, it comes under organic chemistry. कोणताही कंपाउंड घ्या, त्याच्यामध्ये जर कार्बन असेल, that will comes in organic chemistry. If you consider benzene, study of benzene, toluene, cellulose, hydrocarbons, glucose, saccharides, all these contain carbon, so thus it comes under organic chemistry. So that is nothing but organic chemistry, or we can also call it as carbon chemistry. Okay. The next it is inorganic chemistry. The definition of inorganic chemistry is so simple now. If you know organic chemistry definition, you can define inorganic chemistry. So what is organic chemistry? It is nothing but carbon chemistry. So how we can define inorganic chemistry? It is nothing but the branch of science or branch of chemistry. Not science, we will consider chemistry because it is chemistry branch. So it is the branch of chemistry which deals with the study of the elements or matter or substance other than carbon. So कार्बन छोड़ के अब जो कुछ भी है that उसका अगर स्टडी करेंगे so that comes under inorganic chemistry. The different metal elements other than carbon, if we study them, that comes under inorganic chemistry. So that is why it is called inorganic. Inorganic means non-organic. If it is non-organic, that means it does not contain carbon. Okay. So thus inorganic chemistry is nothing but the branch of chemistry which deals with the study of inorganic compounds other than carbon, so that we call it as inorganic chemistry. The inorganic chemistry मध्ये कशा study करतो आपण inorganic compounds, so other than carbon, so that is nothing but inorganic chemistry. Now the next is physical chemistry. So it is the branch of chemistry which deals with the study of physical and chemical properties of matter. So what is this? It is the branch of chemistry which deals with study of physical and chemical properties of matter. We try to study the physical and chemical properties with energy changes. So what is studied in physical chemistry? Basically energy changes and dynamic changes, that is mainly studied. Heat changes, energy changes, physico-chemical properties study, application of physics principle to the chemistry, that is mainly studied in physical chemistry. Okay. So these are basic branches. The next branch, it is analytical chemistry. Now analytical chemistry, it is also nothing but the branch of chemistry which deals with the analysis of elements and their compounds in different physico-chemical methods or by different physico-chemical methods. So as per the name, what does the name indicates? It is analytical chemistry. That means basically analysis is done. इथं निरीक्षण केलं जातं, परीक्षण केलं जातं, analysis केलं जातं. So different types of analysis are there: structural analysis, compositional analysis, gravimetric analysis, volumetric analysis. There are different types of analysis. So in analytical chemistry, different instruments that are used, different techniques that are used to do the analysis of substance or elements or matter. So that we call it as analytical chemistry. Okay. That is, in analytical chemistry, mainly analysis of compound is done by different instruments and methods. Okay. The last part that we call it as biochemistry. So biochemistry is the branch of science that explore the chemical processes within and are related to the living organisms. So what is biochemistry? It is the branch of science that explore the chemical processes within and related to living organisms. Means such a branch which deals with the study of chemical processes related to living organisms. Okay, so that branch we call it as biochemistry. For example, such as photochemical processes. So there are different processes takes place in living organisms. Formation of DNA, formation of RNA, formation of nucleic acids. So there is DNA, RNA, formation of enzymes, action of enzymes. So these are different biochemical methods or biochemical study. So if we do such kind of study, so that branch we call it as biochemistry. So this is all about different branches of chemistry. Now the next part, it is matter. Okay, substance काय आहे, matter काय असतं, what is matter? Okay, because chemistry is nothing but study of matter. Matterचा study करतोय आपण. Okay, so what is matter? Matter is nothing but a substance which occupies some space and has mass, that is called as matter. So what is matter? Matter is nothing but a substance which occupies some space. काही space घेईल and it has some mass. काहीतरी त्याला mass असलं पाहिजे, काहीतरी त्याला it should occupy some space. Space occupy केलं पाहिजे. So that substance we call it as matter. Okay. So whatever it may be the state, whether it may be in solid state, whether it may be liquid state, whether it may be in gaseous state. So depend on the state, it is again further divided into these basic three different types, that is solid, liquid and gas. So matter does exist in three different states. स्टेट मीन्स स्थिती, कोणत्या स्थितीमध्ये सापडतं, घन, द्रव किंवा वायू. सो दॅट इज नथिंग बट सॉलिड, लिक्विड अँड गॅस. सो दीज आर कॉल्ड as states of matter. ठीक आहे. We try to see the classification of matter, how the matter is classified, okay, or the substance it is classified. So classification of matter, it is mainly done first on the basis of composition. So it might be looking much smaller, so I will enlarge it so that it will be visible to you. So the classification of matter, first on the basis of composition, it is divided into pure substance and mixture. जे काही त्याचं कॉम्पोजिशन असेल, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन असेल सबस्टन्सचं किंवा मॅटरचं, on that basis it is divided into two types. दोन टाईप मध्ये डिवाइड, प्युअर सबस्टन्स म्हणजे त्याच्यामध्ये इम्प्युरिटी नसणार आहे, सेम कॉन्स्टिट्युएंट असतील, सो दॅट वी कॉल इट एज प्युअर सबस्टन्स. अँड मिक्सचर मीन्स इट कंटेन another additive or impurity associated with the base metal or main substance, so that we call it as mixture. Okay. The pure substance, it is further divided into elements and compounds. In detail that we take next further. The pure substance is further divided into elements and compound, while the mixture is divided into heterogeneous mixture and homogeneous mixture on the basis of phase. कोणत्या फेज मध्ये आहे किंवा स्टेट मध्ये आहे, whether it is uniform, whether it is non-uniform. So on that basis divided into homogeneous and heterogeneous. The homogeneous is further divided into, so homogeneous, it is further divided into gas mixture, solutions and alloys, while the heterogeneous, it is further divided into suspension, emulsions, solid solution and aerosols. So all this that we study just next. Okay, so this is basic classification of matter. Okay, pure substance, mixture, element, compound, homogeneous and heterogeneous, that is basic distinguish. Okay, so next it is, what is pure substance, that we try to see. The pure substance, it has a definite chemical composition. Pure substance काय असतं त्याच्यामध्ये, it has a definite chemical composition, म्हणजे त्याचं केमिकल कॉम्पोजिशन जे काय असेल ते फिक्स असतं, इट वोंट चेंज, बदलत नाही, सेम फिक्स असेल. आयरन असेल तर इट शुड बी कन्सिस्ट ऑफ Fe ओनली, Cu वगैरे त्याच्यामध्ये ॲड होणार नाही. इफ यू कन्सिडर प्युअर मेटल, ओके, प्युअर आयरन, so its chemical composition is fixed. Then some properties, it possesses same properties regardless of their origin. Another thing is that the properties will remain same regardless of the origin. कुठूनही ते तुम्हाला ते सबस्टन्स मिळो, the properties won't get changed. Properties बदलणार नाहीत, the properties will remain same. For example, pure metals, as we have said, pure gold, it will have the same properties. Gold परभणीतला असो, नांदेडचा असो, औरंगाबादचा असो, it will show the same properties. Okay. Then if you consider distilled water कुठेही तयार करा, it will show the same properties. Pure substance get divided into element and compound. So pure substance, as we have seen the classification, it is further divided into two types, that is element and compound. So we try to see what is element and what is compound later on. The next part, it is just like a pure substance, the another part will be mixture. So opposite to pure substance, the mixture, it is not definite chemical composition. It does not have a definite chemical composition. fixed chemical composition. So the chemical composition may varies because as it contains two or more different types of substances or elements, so that is why the chemical composition may vary. Okay. Then another, it is no definite properties. The mixture, it don't have definite or fixed properties, just like pure substance or pure metal. Okay. For example, if you consider paint, so paint, it is the mixture, it is a mixture of oil, pigments, additives, etc. So thus the properties will differ. Okay. If you consider concrete, concrete is also an example of mixture. It consists of cement, gravel, sand, water, etc. So this concrete is also a mixture. The properties will differ if the composition changes. Okay. So that is regarding pure substance and mixture. Now, as we know, the pure substance is divided into element and compound. We try to see element, what it is. Elements are the pure substance which cannot be broken down into simple substance by ordinary chemical changes. That is called as element. Okay, what is element? Element is nothing but pure substance which cannot be broken down into simple substance. Such a substance which cannot be further divisible into small substance or simple substance. ज्याला परत त्या सबस्टन्सला तोडता येत नाही, ब्रेकडाऊन करता येत नाही, असा सबस्टन्स जर असेल बाय सिंपल फिजिकल केमिकल मेथड्स, दॅट सबस्टन्स वी कॉल इट ॲज एलिमेंट. त्याला आपण एलिमेंट म्हणतो. ओके. Elements are further classified into metals, non-metals and metalloids. जे काही एलिमेंट्स आहेत दॅट आर फर्दर पुढे त्यांचं क्लासिफिकेशन कशामध्ये केलं जातं तर मेटल, नॉन मेटल आणि मेटलॉइड. दॅट वी विल स्टडी later on. So we try to see metal, non-metal and metalloids in detail. What are the properties of metal, what are the properties of non-metals, and what are the properties of metalloid. Okay. So here you can see there is distinguished properties of metals, non-metals and metalloids. So we try to see each property one by one. So first of all, metals. The metal, they are shiny. Shiny means they have luster. Okay. So shiny means they have luster. Generally all the metals, they have luster. If you consider gold, if you consider silver, if you consider platinum, they have luster. Luster means what? Chakaki aste, shine aste. Okay. It glows or it shines. So metals have luster. Opposite to this, non-metals, they are dull in nature. Non-metals, they are dull. Okay. Means luster naste, chakaki naste. It won't shine, it won't give bright shine. Okay. In case of metalloids, now what is metalloid, that we try to see first. We know that metal, these are pure metal, non-metals. What is metalloids? Metalloids are nothing but the substance which are intermediate between metals and non-metals. That means what? It is nothing but a substance which shows both the properties of metal as well as non-metal. म्हणजे असा सबस्टन्स जे मेटलचे आणि नॉन मेटल दोन्हीचे प्रॉपर्टीज दाखवतात, that substance we call it as metalloid. Okay. So thus we try to study these properties as is comparative study. So metals, they are shiny, while the non-metals, they are dull. In case of metalloids, they may be shiny or they may be dull. Both the properties can be shown by non-metalloids. Thus it will be somehow similar or easy to understand. The next, metals, they are malleable, while non-metals, they are brittle in nature. Now what is malleability and brittleness, that we try to see. Metals, they are malleable. Malleable means what? It can be drawn into thin sheet. Okay. Malleability, it is called. If you beat this metal, it can be drawn into thin sheet. जसं लोखंड घ्या, ठोका ठोका पत्रा तयार होईल. Okay. Gold घ्या, ठोका पत्रा तयार होईल. So if the metal can be drawn into thin sheet, that we call it as malleability. The non-metals, they don't show malleability, they are brittle in nature. If you try to beat the non-metallic substance by hammer, it will break, but it won't convert into thin sheet. So thus they are brittle in nature. If you consider metal, these are ductile in nature. Now the ductility principle comes. What is ductile? Ductility means it can be drawn into thin wires. प्रत्येकाच्या घरामध्ये इलेक्ट्रिक वायर्स असतात, त्याच्यामध्ये काय वापरतो आपण? वी यूज कॉपर वायर्स. इलेक्ट्रिक खांब्यावरचे जे वायर असेल दॅट यूज अल्युमिनियम वायर. So how they are made? The metal, it is stretched, it passes through different hard dies, and the metal is drawn into very thin wires. So thus metal has a property, it can drawn into thin wires. So that property we call it as ductility. Okay, so those metals that are ductile in nature, while the non-metals, they are not malleable as well as non-ductile in nature. Okay, so these are non-ductile or not ductile. Okay, it cannot be drawn into thin wires. Then good conductors of thermal and electrical energy. The metals, these are good conductor of thermal and electrical energy. That means what? The metals can conduct heat as well as electricity. Okay, as I give an example, electric wire मध्ये काय असतं? We use copper. It can conduct electricity, electric current. बटन दाबले की लाईट लागते, बटन दाबले की फॅन लागेल. So that means it conduct electricity. Okay, similarly the metals can conduct heat as well. घराचा तावा घ्या, त्याच्यावर तुम्ही पोळ्या भाजाल, भाकरी भाजलं जातं. मीन्स गॅसवर तवा ठेवला, गॅसवर तवा गरम होईल, त्याची गरम तुमच्या भाकरी किंवा पोळीला लागेल, त्याच्यामुळे ती पोळी किंवा भाकर पाचल्या जाते, शिजते. So thus the metals that are good conductor of heat as well. Okay, so that is the example of good conductor of heat. Okay, while the non-metals, these are not good conductor of electricity as well as they are poor conductor, we can say poor conductor of electricity as well as heat. They cannot conduct electricity or they cannot conduct heat as well. Okay, the metals, they are more reactive in nature, while the non-metals, they are less reactive in nature. Okay, in case of metalloids, if you consider, some may be malleable, some may be ductile, some may have luster, some may don't have luster, some may be good conductor of electricity, some may be bad conductor of electricity. So in that way the properties in between metals and non-metals will exist in case of metalloids. The example of metalloid is silicon and germanium. These are transition metals. Okay, the different examples of metal, there is iron, silver, gold, platinum. These are metals, while the example of non-metals such as carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, etc. So these are non-metals. Okay, so the next part that we try to see, the compounds. Now compound, so compound are the pure substance which cannot be broken down into simple substance by ordinary chemical changes, that is called as compound. Again, it cannot be broken down into a simple substance or compound by ordinary chemical changes. In compound, 2 or 3 elements may combine to form a compound. The compound कसं फॉर्म केलं जातं तर 2 to 3 elements may combine with each other to form a compound. For example, H2O. Here the H2, it is to be subscript, खाली असायला पाहिजे, there is mistake. CO2, 2 it is in subscript, खाली असेल. Then H2SO4 किंवा HNO3, C6H6, benzene, etc. So these are the some examples of compound. So here in this case you can find there exist carbon, oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, or there may exist nitrogen, hydrogen, oxygen. 2 to 3 elements are combines with each other to form compound. Okay, so that is all about elements or pure substance. We try to see mixture, how the mixture exists, what are the different types of mixture and how it is classified. So mixture, it is nothing but uh, the substance which is prepared after mixing two or more different substances in different proportion, or the substance which is formed by the combination of two or more different substances at different proportions. So that we call it as mixture. The constituents of mixture can be separated by physical methods. So that is, for example, प्रत्येक जणाच्या घरी धान्य निवडलं जातं. धान्य कशासाठी निवडतो? जेणेकरून त्याच्यामध्ये काही माती असेल, कण असतील तर ते सेपरेट करता आले पाहिजे. तर जे काही धान्य असेल मिक्स विथ सॉइल पार्टिकल्स, सो दॅट इज ऑल्सो वन एक्झाम्पल ऑफ मिक्सचर. By physical methods, just by selecting the soil particles, so we can take it out by picking out by hands. We can separate it or remove it, or by using sieves, mechanical sieves. चाळणीने सुद्धा आपण कचरा चाळून काढू शकतो. धान्य अलग होईल, माती खाली निघून जाईल. So in that way the separation can be done by simple physical methods. So that is mainly possible in mixture. But in case of elements, this will not possible. Then mixture is further divided into two types. So that is homogeneous mixture, so that is uniform throughout, and heterogeneous mixture, it is non-uniform throughout. So mixture that has two types, homogeneous and heterogeneous, that we try to see here. It is pictured or a diagrammatic representation of pure substance. That is, the first part, it is element. एक सारखे तुम्हाला atoms दिसतील. Another, it is compound. It consists of two or more, three types of atoms. The below it is mixture. This is homogeneous. It is uniform throughout. Homogeneous means it is uniform throughout, though it shows presence of some different dots. So that means it consists of two or more different constituents. Substance दोन किंवा दोनपेक्षा जास्ती त्याच्यामध्ये मिक्स आहेत. So green dot, it is one substance. The violet dot, it is another substance. And heterogeneous, that means it is non-uniform throughout, or it can be distinguished into two different layers, that we call it as heterogeneous. Okay, now again we try to study the mixture in detail. Up till now we have seen the pure metals and elements, etc. We try to see a mixture in detail. So again, mixture, it is divided into two types, heterogeneous and homogeneous. So what is heterogeneous? It is non-uniform throughout. Non-uniform throughout means एक जीव नसेल, एक संख्य नसेल, एक सारखा नसेल. So that is non-uniform throughout. Okay, means what? We will find two different layers or two distinguished layers. In case of homogeneous, homogeneous means it is uniform throughout. एक सारखा असेल, एक जीव असेल. For example, if you consider an example of alcohol in water, okay, alcohol, if alcohol is added into water, you will get a homogeneous solution. It looks similar, same. We cannot distinguish between this is alcohol and this is water. So that is homogeneous. But if you consider heterogeneous, the example it is, if you add kerosene in water or oil in water, so you will get two types of layers. Okay, the lighter will go up, the heavier will settle down. So if oil is lighter, the oil will float above the water level. You will find oil layer, and another it is aqueous layer. So in that way, two layer will be formation takes place, as it is heterogeneous, means it won't mix with each other, forming uniform throughout. Okay, that is basic difference between homogeneous and heterogeneous. Now we try to see first homogeneous. As homogeneous, it is uniform throughout. It can be further divided into three different types. That is, suppose gas mixture. Gas mixture, it is a mixture of different gases such as aerosol, then protective gases, then superheated steam, etc. Solutions, it may be a mixture of solutions such as sugar in water solution. If you add sugar in water, सागर पाणी ज्याला म्हणतो आपण, stir करा, dissolve करा, you will get the same homogeneous solution. Then carbonated soda, thumbs up, Pepsi, cola, it is nothing but carbonated beverages. again it is homogeneous. There is no distinguishing between इथे CO2 आहे किंवा water आहे, so we cannot distinguish. Likewise, so thus it is homogeneous. Okay, then alloys. Alloy काय असतं, it is nothing but mixture of two or more different metals. Okay, so that we call it as alloy. Alloy मध्ये काय केलं जातं, दोन metals mix केलं जातं at definite proportion so as to form a new substance, that is called as alloy. Now why alloying is done? So as to increase the characteristics of metal. Metalची characteristics वाढवण्यासाठी alloying केलं जातं. It is one type of process. Now alloys such as brass, पित्तळ असेल, bronze असेल, तांबा असेल किंवा solder असेल. So these are different types of alloys. Okay. Brass, it is copper zinc alloy. Bronze, it is copper tin, copper nickel alloy. And solders, these are lead silver alloy or different metals. Tin can be added into alloys. Okay, soldering metals. If you consider heterogeneous solution or heterogeneous mixture, so this is non-uniform throughout. The different examples or types of heterogeneous mixture, that is suspension. Suspension, it is such as iron sludge, then quicksand, liquid concrete, etc. These are suspension. Now what is suspension? Suspension कशाला म्हटलं जातं तर, so substance is added into liquid, suppose, and it is freely suspended state. Suspended state means विखुरलेला असेल, dispersed state मध्ये असेल, they are called as dispersion or suspension. They should not coagulate to form separate two different layers. Okay, solid is to be added into liquid and it should be in dispersed state, so that we call it as suspension or dispersion. So it is also nothing but emulsion. Emulsion, if you consider suspension, solid it is to be added into liquid. Emulsion, liquid is to be added into liquid and also in dispersed state, so that we call it as emulsion. Such as oil and water, milk, it is also an emulsion. Mayonnaise, it is mayonnaise. Okay, so these are emulsions. Then solid solution, iron ore, graphite, marble, these are solid solution. Then aerosols. Aerosols means solid if it is dispersed into air, so or liquid is dispersed into air, that is called as aerosols, such as cigarette smoke, water spray, car exhaust, etc. So all these are this is all about mixture, homogeneous and heterogeneous mixtures. So thank you for watching.